as it says in did Yahweh Shai say? He said there's some standing here that will not taste of death.
It's Mark 9.
Right. Okay. So it said, what it say in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye. What? Read that, girl.
It says, in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible.
The last trumpet, man. And the seventh trumpet, the last plague, talking about that nuclear destruction, goes hand in hand with Psalms 91, excuse me. And it says that we're going to be covered with the feathers of his wings. All right. And then that scripture that says that what did it say? It said I think it's in Isaiah 30 verse 20. Get Isaiah 30 verse 20. Okay. It's in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, in the last trump. Okay. The dead shall be raised. What?
It says, the dead shall be raised incorruptible,
right,
and we shall be changed.
Right, we shall be changed. Okay.
You should get one in Job 5 as well.
And it says, for this corruptible must put on incorruptible, and this mortal must put on immortality.
You hear that? So this corruptible must put on incorruptible. So we're gonna have incorruptible bodies, man. Bodies that can't see corruption. Okay? Bodies that don't age. Okay? Bodies that don't die. Okay? And shrivel up. You're like an old person when you shrivel up, man.
Yeah.
And your back crook.
Yeah.
Your walking stick. Alright? You're not as energetic as you used to be. We're gonna be energetic for all generations, man. Okay? That's how you know we're gonna be like, basically gonna be gods, man. Okay? The other nations are gonna look upon us as though we're gods.
Right.
We're gonna sit up on thrones and never age. We're gonna see the generations of mankind come and go. We're gonna be able to see all generations, man, of spirits come and go. All right.
Psalms 82 verse 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes.
Exactly.
Arise, O power, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations.
And that's what we're waiting for, because when the Most High inherit all nations, we're going to be there with him. All right? Join heirs with Yahweh Shai, okay? Leaders, all right, of the nation of Yasharallah, okay? And we're going to lead the nation of Israel. Okay? And we're going to judge all nations. So read that again.
It says, for this corruptible must put on incorruptible, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory.
Right, because the word mortal comes from the word mortify. And the word mortify means to make dead. Alright? In the scripture it said to mortify your members, meaning dead in your fleshly senses, man, your sensual desires. Okay? And basically live according to the spirit. Alright? So basically when you say mortal shall be swallowed up with immortality, meaning these bodies that we have represent death. Okay? And that's going to be swallowed up of immortality. You know, we're never going to die, man. Okay? The word mortal literally means dead, man. Or death. Okay? So we don't.
And it says, verse 55, it says, O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law.
You hear that? So basically, when this mortality is swallowed up, we're never going to be able to sin. Okay? Or being subject to vanity, subject to evil. We're not going to be subject to evil no more, man. Okay? That's why I said the last enemy that the Most High has to conquer is death, man. It's of the flesh. Okay? So we're going to be subject to what? The will of Yahweh Shai. Okay, go ahead. So they're not going to have that demon in you. You know how Paul was speaking about how he was warring against himself?
Yeah, thorn in the flesh.
Yeah, exactly. We're not going to have like the thing that I would.
Oh yeah.
It's the thing that I do not.
Romans 7.
We're not going to have that trouble no more. We're not going to have that demonic battle against our souls anymore.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't know how that's going to feel. But that's going to be a hell of a feeling, man.
Yeah.
To actually be like this. I can't explain it. Like that's why the scriptures say we prophesy in part and we know in part. We speak about the things that we don't fully understand. Because how the hell can a brother imagine eternity? None of you brothers can imagine being 20 million years old.
But you know what though, brother, we have to just
You can't fathom being that old, but we're gonna live to be that old. We're gonna be so old that there's not gonna actually be a number for your age. You're just gonna say that you're eternity. I've been on earth for eternity. Like you might be in bed with one of your concubines, and then your concubine might turn around and say, like, how old are you? And then you're just gonna say, well, imagine eternity. Just imagine that. Because there's no actual physical number for how old you are. Like you passed the billions. You passed the billions, man. You know what I'm saying? You've left off counting anymore. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be like seriously ancient men, man. And we're still gonna be as young as we were like when we're like 20 years old or something like that, 25 in our prime basically. Like a lion in his prime. We're still gonna be that old. We're still gonna look that old. Physically. Alright? So that's gonna be crazy. Okay? That's why I said mortality, death shall be swallowed up in victory. So this flesh, we've been conquered, man. Alright? We overcame the flesh by living through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Through faith is what pulled us through to overcome that narrow passage, man. That narrow. Okay?
and I don't cut you too, brother, right? Because we're gonna just be in the spirit, you know, and the spirit don't die. The spirit is eternal. So we're gonna be more in that sort of what is it? We're gonna be more in that sort of realm rather than the flesh. Right now we're more fleshly than the spirit. And that's why we go off all the time. You know what I mean? But that's not gonna happen though. We're gonna be more tuned with the spirit. 100%.
Okay? So we're gonna have constant access to the Most High because we're gonna have that connection again. We're gonna be adopted sons of the Father. You know, there's the parable speaking about the adopted son. That he was with his father, and the father sent him away, and he came back and said, Father, I've sinned before heaven and before thee, and I'm no more worthy to be called your son. And then the father made a feast.
Our prodigal son,
Prodigal son, excuse me. Okay, made a feast to celebrate the return of his son. And he said this son was lost, and now he is found, man. And he was with his father forevermore, man. So we're gonna have that constant access to our Father. Okay, all knowledge, all mysteries and understandings will be revealed to us. We're not gonna have nothing. We're not gonna be lacking in nothing. Any mysteries, any wisdoms, it's all gonna be revealed to us, man. All right. So right now we only have access to a certain amount of knowledge. That's why the scriptures say that we're not supposed to seek out more than our understanding or something like that. The scriptures that refer to that. Why? Because we're still in the flesh. But right now, the Most High has revealed to us what we need, what's needful for salvation. Okay? He's given us the keys to the kingdom.
Got a precept, bro.
Anyone got precept? Remember I told you to get that Isaiah 30 verse 20.
Got a precept. Isaiah chapter 30 verse 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity.
It wasn't even that one still. So the one that says the Lord will shut them doors.
Inward parts.
Yes, excuse me, 25 verse 20. 26 verse 20.
Chapter 26, yeah?
Verse 20.
That's what I hear. Isaiah 26 verse 20.
I got a precept as well.
Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed.
Right? Okay, so that's us entering into them chariots, man. Okay, having just escaped second death, man. Fire that the scriptures prophesy of. Okay, the fire that's gonna come upon the children of disobedience. Okay, and the other nations. Okay, that are designated to suffer that destruction. Okay, and we're gonna have done escape that. Beamed up in the chariots. What's it? It's the righteous scarcely being saved, man. Okay. So that's gonna be a salvation that's gonna be remembered for all generations, man.
And you know too, brother, I gotta have this brother read this precept right here. We have no,
Some coffee and wine.
nah, we don't have no change.
Coffee and wine. No, Jesus can't do it. Jesus can't do it. Jesus can't do what the wine. Can you
me
do
drink
some
5.19.
coffee to wine, bro?
See, this is the future of Esau. This is his
Coffee
future.
to vodka.
This one precept. So that's good. That answers this one.
It's at Job 5 and 19, and it says,
Finish that.
it's at Job 5 and 19, and it says, He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yea, in the 7 there shall no evil touch thee.
That's exactly what it's going into, and it said the last trumpet, man. The 7 last plague, because the scriptures in Revelations, I believe verse 14 talks about that. 14 or 15 talks about the 7 last plagues. Okay, I felt that's good, because give me Revelations 15 right now. We're gonna get that.
Yeah, that's how Esau's gonna be looking, man. Crazy, bugged out, begging and supplicating. You know what I mean? But
See what I'm saying?
he's gonna get the cold shoulder, man.
Revelation.
One thing I want to say is that right now we're being patient. That's the true nature of Jacob. Because Jacob, he was patient for the birthright. He saw the value of the birthright, something that Esau didn't value. Esau wanted that instant gratification. He wanted that pleasure right then. And that's why he gave up his birthright. He didn't see the value in it.
He wanted it now.
You see, the majority of our nation, 2/3 of our nation, they got the spirit of Esau. They want it now. They want the money. They want the glory. They want the vagina. They want it all now.
And that's why you got certain guys, they were once a part of the camp and they fell out and did their own thing because they want that glory. Because they wouldn't get the glory here. You know, they wasn't trying to rise up in the ranking order. So they just said, you know what, fuck all of that, man. I'm gonna just do my own thing and I'm gonna sit up my own camp. Because they want that, like you said, brother, that instant gratification. And that instant gratification, that vainglory, that's just the path of death right there, man.
And that's why I said the better is the patient in spirit.
Yeah.
And the proud in spirit, I believe it goes. That's in both of Ecclesiastes. Okay? Now, we, the elect, the hopeful elect, we got the spirit of our ancestor Jacob. That patient spirit. We're waiting for the fulfillment of that birthright. Promises. Okay? That the Most High made with our ancestor Jacob. Alright? So we're like the true Israelites. 2/3 of our nation, they're Israel according to the flesh. But we're Israel according to the spirit, man. We're Jacob according to the spirit.
You know, brother, get Romans 9 since he said that.
We don't want to go off topic. I just want to give me that. Read that in 7 troubles. Read that again.
Job 5 and 19, and it says, He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yea, in the 7 there shall no evil touch thee.
Exactly. So that's Psalms 91, man. That's Psalms 91. No evil shall touch me. So that's Psalms 91. That's literally prophecy. Okay. right there and then. So read that.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 15 and 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues.
See, you hear that? Okay, go ahead.
For in them filled up the wrath of the Most High.
Right, you better believe that the last plague, logically, is going to have to be that nuclear destruction, because what plague is going to come after that? The last plague has to be the nuclear destruction. Go ahead.
And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast.
A sea of glass, because you got the Shemayim's in the heavens, man, mingled with fire. Because that's how great the destruction is going to be. It's going to reach into the Shemayim's, man. Okay, into the cosmos. Go ahead.
And over his image and over his mark. Verse 2, and I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark.
So you're not gonna see a 2/3 nigga, man. Okay, that's not a 2/3 nigga, not part of that. Okay,
You know, though, brother, you're gonna see him, but you're gonna see him in that lake of fire.
he's not gonna be, gotten that victory. Okay, all right. He's gonna get destroyed. He's gonna be a part of that fire, man. Mingled with the sea of glass, man.
With the laser beams too.
Right. Go ahead.
And over the number of his name stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High.
So what did we gain the victory over? What did it say?
It said, and gained the victory over the beast.
Over the beast, the system. See, a majority of our people are fucking weak, man.
Yeah.
But
They're
they're
motherfucking weak.
They're supposed to.
And I know they're supposed to be, but they're fucking weak, man. Okay? Alright? And that's why we gotta look at that example and say that's not how we're supposed to be. That's why I say stay strong in the Lord, man. Because we're strong in Yahweh Bashim Yahshai.
Yeah, brother, if you don't mind, right, I gotta bring this article out, man. This is from the RT, right? Because what's happening is the media is now turning on Edomites in America. And this is what it says: uncomfortable truth. CNN's Lemon defense claim that white men are the biggest terrorist threat. That's on CNN now. So now what they're promoting, because see, it's all propaganda, and CNN's, you know, as we all can subscribe, you know what I mean? It's BS. But what's happening is everything's turning against Esau. Even his own media is turning up against him. Okay, so that just goes to show you, and the reason why they're saying it's because the vibration of Trump is in the air, and because Trump is in the midst. Yeah. Trump is pretty much showing forth this this proud white American kind of figure, and they don't like Trump. No one really likes him, man. Neither media likes him. So this is what they're putting out there, man. And what it all boils down to, what they're gonna start doing is which they've already got it planned in effect. They're gonna start saying that everyone's a terrorist. Because if Esau's a terrorist, then they're gonna lump everybody in. That's really the agenda. But it's not looking good for Esau, man.
All right. So like I said,
oh shit. That's a strong ass phone. Water, man. Thank you.
Okay. So we're reading about the future, man. That's amazing. What book on the planet can do that? The books that we're holding right now, we're reading about the future. We're reading about something that's gonna come. Certain brothers are in these prophecies, man. Some of you brothers are standing here and are watching this. You're gonna be a part of this future prophecy. When you're reading it, you're reading about yourself. Right in the future. You're literally reading about what's gonna happen to you.
Wow. Yeah, because a lot of times they like to say, well, that's not gonna happen in my lifetime.
Yes.
It is.
Or that's hundreds and hundreds of years.
Ain't not that 100 years. It's right around the corner.
And that's a spirit. Because I wanted to. Sorry. You go. You saying something?
That was the point that someone made. Every time we speak about destruction, they always assume, nah, that's another 200 years or another 500 years or in the future. I'll be long gone by then. You know?
It's already starting already, because as I just read this article here, it's showing you here. It says doubling down on this controversial statement earlier this week. CNN host Don Lemon has offered some overwhelming, and that's probably why that guy got mad. Remember when he came up and he said, "Oh fuck you guys."
Yeah.
Because what's happening is the media is roused up against him now. Because there was a point in the time where they would actually, they would actually, you know, degrade Jake. Every time you see Jake, they show him more in a criminal, you know, in a criminal way. But now they're getting painted badly now in the media. All right, I'm going to read this again. It says, "Uncomfortable truth." CNN's Lemon, what is his name? Don Lemon, right? Defense claim that white men are the biggest terror threat. And this is not just some any old bullshit news article. This is an RT.
They were always the biggest.
Yeah.
And really, and that's the truth.
All of a sudden, they were trying to make white men, they're the threat. They were always the threat, man.
Yeah, they were always the threat. But now it's being declared.
Yeah.
So it says, doubling down on his controversial statements earlier this week, CNN host Don Lemon has offered some overwhelming evidence to prove his point that radicalized white men, Edomites, are the biggest terror threat to the U.S. After facing a public outcry over the comments he made Tuesday, which many found racist, the 52-year-old news anchor, right, who is not the biggest fan of Donald Trump's policy, has offered some hard facts to defend and back up his claim that right-wing white folk pose the biggest terrorist threat to American society.
Which Don Lemon is an Edomite as well.
And he's a faggot.
And he's a faggot
Yeah, yeah.
too. I was going to say that.
On history said that one of his relatives go back to a slave master, which is the Edomite. So that makes him an Edomite.
That's it.
Yeah, so I mean,
I think his fucking boyfriend's white too, anyway.
probably so, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
the
think
point
so.
of the matter is everything's ricocheting against them, because they used to always use the media against our people. They used to always show our people in a bad light and shit. Now they getting a taste of what we had to do.
And they're investigating anti-Semitic allegations in the House of Commons over
Yeah, because
here
that
now.
one dude, that one cracker went up in the synagogue and killed 11 other crackers.
Yeah.
So they might as well just say that them so-called Jews terrorists. They might as well put that out there.
Yeah. Anti-Semitic investigation over in the House of Commons over in England.
Yep.
Alright,
There you go.
that's crazy. Okay. So where we at now? Revelation 15.
And you know we gotta bring that out. Being that we're the Israelites and we talk about Esau, we gotta bring that out.
Elder Malcolm always brings that out. Chicago Elder Malcolm,
Yeah,
he's always going
brings
into
out
that.
Badass videos.
Yeah.
Huh.
Verse 2, Revelation chapter 15, verse 2. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire. And them that had gotten the victory
I will
over
cut
the
you,
beast.
brother, right? You know what's happening, right? I just thought about this. You know how the Muslims, the Arabs, they would have faced the terrorism. Now the so-called white men should face the terrorism.
Shows that we're in the end, man.
Because it's not just going to be the so-called black Hebrew Israelites.
Everybody's gonna get lumped in that bad boy.
It's going to get looked at as being terrorists. Because Esau wants to wipe out anybody that's against his so-called New World Order regime, including his own people.
Yep.
All right. Like I said, that movie that I showed you guys. What was that movie again? That movie that basically that martial law movie.
I don't know. You know it. You was the one that mentioned it. I can't remember.
Not Book of Eli, man. The other one. Man. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm not to part with the modern day music.
You talking about the one with that black dude, right?
No, it's that white guy and the girls following him around the place. And then both of them get killed in the end.
You mentioned that the other day.
Batista, the one with the Batista in there. I forgot the name of that film.
They start off with the underground train station, then the boyfriend gets smoked. The girls running around town. Yeah, the girls running around town and she bumps into the he gets shot at the end. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's gonna be crazy, man. Okay? The scripture said they shall be like madman sparing none.
Yeah.
So that's the times we're coming to. But anyway, go ahead.
Verse 2, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and then that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark.
So the elect is not going to take the chip. That is, it says it right there. That's prophecy. That's letting you know that the elect, they're gonna enjoy the chip. They're gonna enjoy even that. All right, they're gonna overcome that. So we gotta prepare ourselves for a time where you're gonna see a lot of the people of our nation gonna take that chip, man. What that bushwick? That's it. Bushwick. That's the move. In the end, you got smoked, man. Like you didn't even. Using the laundry, you ran. And then you open up the door. There's some bitch shot in the head.
But that's going to play. That's going to be real because if you look at the dude that was playing the protector of that woman, he was a big dude. He was a big guy, muscle and everything, and he died at the end of it because that's what it's going to be.
He was like an ex-marine, or supposedly.
Exactly. On top of that, not only was he big and muscular, but he was this ex-marine. So he had it all going on, but yet he still got killed. Because this destruction is going to engulf the entire environment, man.
And the girl was smoked too.
Yep. Because that ain't nothing to play.
Yep. Alright? So, like I said, we're going to see a lot of shit in the time to come. And the scriptures say we're going to overcome that shit. You know? So we're going to be suffering, man. That's when the Most High said he's going to bring the third part through the fire, man. That's part of the fire. And during life, you can't live life, you can't do nothing, okay, without that chip. I don't know how the Most High's going to have it, man. We're gonna be running around town, you know what I'm saying?
I've had many dreams, but I'm not gonna say nothing about it.
Police looking for us, breaking into our houses, all kinds of madness, man. Us being on the run, you know, having to take food, finding food, you know, smelling disgusting because you haven't had the shower and shit.
But you know what it's good. If you're gonna be in the wilderness, you have to smell like that. Because if you smelling good and nice, that's when the beast is gonna take you out, devour you. Because if you smelling bad, then they're gonna get the running man. Like that smell.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. See, a lot of our people, they're gonna lose their integrity.
But you know,
you gotta hold fast to your integrity.
They don't matter in this stage of the game right now.
You gotta hold fast to your integrity. But the majority of our people, they're gonna lose that, man. Okay? Go ahead, man.
Verse 3, and they sing the song of Moses, servant of the Most High, and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Lord power, almighty. Just and true are thy ways, King, O thou King of saints. You shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name, for thou only art holy. For all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. And after that I looked, and behold.
So that's going to be great, man. Sometimes you can picture it. It's 4,000 saints looking like gods, and all the other nations, they're all bowed down on their knees, man. They're all on their knees. And you got the temple there, solid gold, you know. Brothers with the afros, the eyes, you know what I'm saying, the garments, the fringes, you know. It's going to be glorious, man. Okay? And they're all going to be serving Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai.
Okay, his palaces are going to be building too.
Alright?
I'm gonna have all of them different nations, man. Arabs, man, especially, they're going to be building my temple.
Yeah, the Arabs are going to get, man. They're not going to be worshiping no down Allah on that day. It's like the Quran is going to be blotted out of existence, man. Yeah. Arab ever
Like
mentions the word Allah, Akbar, the way they're gonna get it.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Muhammad's gonna, I'm gonna make Muhammad a martyr, man. Muhammad's gonna get it, man. Okay, let's go back to 1 Corinthians.
And brother, I know why you mad at those Arabs, man, because of them jakes that are being hanged up like a piece of chicken, man.
Yeah, I watched the
You know what I
documentary,
mean?
man.
But hey, man, I'm
They
not.
just
I'm
have
not yeah, go on, go on.
400 something Jakes sharing one toilet.
Yeah, man. But you know
One
what, though?
toilet. And it's blocked.
Yeah, but you know what though? A lot of those sheikhs, we don't know what those sheikhs did, man. A lot of those guys could have been good witches and warlocks, man.
And I thought about it that way, and I felt more relaxed when I thought about it. At first I was angry, and I thought, you say they're niggas, isn't it?
Yeah,
So serious, they're trying to escape, like Nigeria and so forth. And now the Arabs caught them, beat them, and now they're saying, oh, there's no place like home now.
Right. But that's good for them. They deserve it. They deserve to get hanged up the way they are, man. I ain't mad at the Arabs, man.
Go ahead.
So back to First Corinthians 15 and 55, and it says, "O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory?"
Right, so you're not gonna have no funerals. You ain't gonna have no funerals among our nation. Because if you have funerals, that means we're still mortal. That means we can be killed, that means we can grow old. That means we're still subject to the elements of man. You know? Bleeding and feeling pain and them things.
8 more minutes to go.
You know, there's not gonna be no more lamentation among our